Okay. So invoice verification, we are discussing about the invoice verification. Okay. So in the material management, if you're talking about that material management, we have how many? We have different areas. Material management is three areas, right? Purchasing and inventory and invoice
Invoice
verification.
verification.
Yeah. So invoice verification. These three areas will be covered in the material management. So today now we are discussing about invoice verification. The invoice verification, what do you mean by that? When you receive the invoice from the vendor, I'm verifying that how much quantity we received at the inventory level and how much price we added, we agreed in the PO level. So whether this invoice we received correctly based on the quantity, how much we received, and based on the price, how much we ordered. Okay, is it we correctly we received or not? If we not doing this invoice verification, so there might be okay fraud transaction will be might be there will be a fraud transactions if you are not verified properly. So what you need to do, you need to be verified that okay in case I received only 50 quantity but you received that 100 quantity of invoice, then you are rejecting that. Okay, rejecting this invoice because the quantity mismatch. So what we can do, we can block this invoice, block the invoice for payment because I didn't receive the stock still. I received only 50 quantity. Okay. So we can block the invoice until he is completely received. Until we receive the stock completely, we can block the invoice. So same like okay, the price, if suppose the quantity it is correctly updated, but the price it is updated wrongly. Let's assume that it is like 11 rupees, which I received. Then again, what system will check the PO price? You are agreed with 10 rupees price, but we are receiving this invoice with 11 rupees. Then the system again immediately it will be block the invoice. So if the block the invoice means what do you mean by that? If your invoice is blocked, that what do you mean by it? So vendor payments will not be happen. So it will not process any payment for the vendor until it is released. Okay. So this blocked invoice will be work in the different scenarios, like if there is a quantity difference is there, okay, or price difference is there. Okay. So these cases, what will be happen? The invoice automatically blocking in the blocking, and we need to release them manually. If suppose there is some price fluctuation is there, okay, our company they are agreed that okay boss, we are agreeing to pay the 11 rupees. So in that case, what we can do, we can release the invoice for the payments. Okay, but if they're not agreeing that oh no, we are not agreeing this one, so you should be modified that with 10 rupees, then we can reject this one. We cancel this document invoice and we are requesting to vendor to submit again the vendor invoice with the correct price, or you need to be write the subsequent credit. Okay. So any doubts till here? Till here, anyone have the doubts? What is the invoice block? When it will be happen invoice block? How the system will validate the PO price and GR quantity? So whatever the GR quantity validating and PO price validating, okay, this we call as a GR based IV verification. Okay, GR based IV. It should be checked, and this we call as a three-way matching. Three-way matching is the PO we are validating PO price, and the GR we are validating quantity how much we received, and at invoice level we are doing both verification. Okay, and we are paying that amount. So this is a three-way matching. PO, GR, invoice. We are verifying all these three, and we are processing for the payment. So this is we call it three-way matching. Okay, and when it will be work three-way matching, if you selected the GR based IV, what do you mean by GR based IV? That means whatever you receive the goods receipt, okay, Based on that, invoice need to be verified. Okay, so this checkbox will be there in the PO level. Okay, you need to be select this GR based review. Okay, so we'll discuss these points in the when we're creating PO. And now coming to the concepts here. Okay, the first concept is normal invoice. Okay, vendor invoice. The second concept is credit memo, and third concept is subsequent debit. And the next one is subsequent credit. Okay, invoice, credit memo, subsequent debit, subsequent credit. Okay, so what do you mean by this all? What is the difference between our invoice and what do you mean by credit memo? What do you mean by subsequent debit? What do you mean by credit, subsequent credit? That we'll discuss now. And other than this one, we have like blocking the invoice. Okay, blocking the invoice, and we also have the releasing the blocked invoice. Okay, and invoice cancellation. Okay, so this is a common points which is we can when it is there is a difference, the invoice is blocking, and if it is they're accepting, you are releasing that. If you're not accepting, if you want to cancel that invoice, you can cancel the invoice. Okay, so this is common points. Now let's go to in invoice level what actually it is there. Okay, so invoice, what do you mean by invoice? Okay, so normal we are receiving this invoice from vendor. Okay, just a moment, I'm getting call. Oh, sorry guys. Okay, so normal invoice is nothing but like we are receiving the invoice from vendor that we are entering into the system. That is a normal vendor invoice. When we are receiving the stock from the vendor, okay, we are also receiving the invoice from the vendor. That invoice you are posting in the invoice. So this once the invoice is completed, so what we can do, we can pay amount to the finance team will pay amount to vendor. Will pay to amount to vendor. Okay, so once the invoice is completed, now when we are using credit memo, so what do you mean by credit memo? Okay, it means that we are expecting some credit from the vendor. That means you are expecting some amount from vendor. So in what scenarios we are using, we are generally expecting amount from the vendor. Okay, if there is a defective quantity or damaged quantity, okay, or material mismatch, right, or materials spoil or scrap. Okay, so this case what we are doing, we are returning these goods to vendor returns. Okay, so we are returning goods to vendor, then we are raising credit memo to vendor. Why? Because we already paid, right? In the above, we already paid. Once we receive the stock, we already paid, right? So now we verify the stock and we just finding that the stock might be defective and the stock is damaged. Okay, might be the materials which we receive wrong materials, or it is scrap. That means completely spoiled. So those cases, what we are doing, we will return those stock to vendor and we will raise the credit memo. So when we are created a credit memo, what will happen? Okay. So
meeting at college.
can you go on mute, please? Who are joined, please go on mute. Okay, thank you. Okay, so create memo. What we are doing? Okay, so once we created a create memo to the vendor, okay, that means the finance team expecting some amount from vendor, right? That means this they have to be paid. They have to pay the amount. So this is the case we are using the create memo. So the major cases in the create memo when the stock we are returning to the vendor. Okay, those cases we are creating the create memo. Okay, so make sure the invoice already posted. Okay, then the next topic is subsequent debit. So what do you mean by subsequent debit? Anyone have the doubt? Anyone have the idea about subsequent debit?
Is it advance?
No, it's not advance. Subsequent debit is nothing but like a okay. Once we receive the invoice, okay, let's say assume that in the PO, same example, I'm taking the example same. So in the PO, we agreed with 10 rupees. Okay, and but after that there was some price fluctuations in the market. So vendor is asking that no, I cannot supply with 10 rupees. So it should be you have to pay 11 rupees or 12 rupees. Okay, so in the generally how we are verifying here, we are verifying that the quantity and price from the PO and the GR, right? So here what will be happen? The vendor is asking that extra amount for the whatever the market fluctuations, the price it is increased. So the vendor is asking that please pay some extra amount. Okay, so instead of 10 rupees, now he is asking to pay the 12 rupees. But we already posted the invoice for bit to 10 rupees. Now that extra 2 rupees we need to pay the amount to vendor. So if our company is accepting to pay the extra amount 2 rupees for this, then what we'll do, we'll create a subsequent debit for excess amount. Okay, is it clear when we are creating subsequent debit? And when it will be paying subsequent create, suppose the same scenario. Okay, now when we are creating PO, it is 10 rupees, but now because of market fluctuation, okay, it might be the price is down, completely down. It might be 7 rupees, 6 rupees like. Okay, in the market now I'm getting for 7 rupees, 6 rupees. So I just call to my vendor, boss, you are giving for 10 rupees, but now in the market I'm getting the 6 rupees, 7 rupees. So do you want to be, do you can provide the same price or I can get from outside? Then obviously if the vendor is okay with that, okay, then what we'll do, we'll be requesting for that, requesting separate from vendor, whatever the amount which is extra amount, whatever the amount you want to claim, that amount you are claiming from the vendor. Okay, that means this is like an amount adjustment. If the company and vendor they are agreeing that okay, yeah, there was just some fluctuation because of that, they want to be adjust the invoice. Okay, you can pay the excess quantity or you can ask the some amount from the vendor. Okay, so this is the concept for the subsequent debit and subsequent credit.
Sir, once vendor and the company agreement was done, then the prices may vary. How they will accept the like subsequent debit?
It depends because okay, if the vendor wants to be maintain some relationship. See, now I'm good with vendor and good vendor also is good with me. Okay, I bought that 1 lakh products. Okay, today I bought some 1 lakh product. Okay, I just negotiating with vendor boss. As I seen that the market price is down. That means on GR date maybe they will not accept maybe after later, but they can accept maybe on the same date, GR date. Like if suppose today I'm receiving, so today there was some fluctuations. Suddenly we understood that there was a price changes are there. So if I want to receive the goods, okay, if I want to receive the goods with the new price, Okay, so if the vendor is accepting, then I will receive that goods, or else I will be not receiving that goods. So on the same date, they can accept. It depends on the relationship between the company and vendor. So it depends, right? If they want to be continue with the business and the vendor wants to be continue with business, they can negotiate and they can be adjust the amount. Might be if you're asking the 7 rupees, but no, I already spent with so much amount, I can give it to for 8 rupees. Then both are they agreed, then it's okay, right? So it is on GR date. They might be they can have a negotiation. It
And
depends on.
subsequent credit is vice versa, sir.
Yeah, subsequent credit is nothing but like we are expecting amount from the vendor. Subsequent debit is nothing but like we are paying excess amount.
Okay, so and means there is mismatch prices as per the PO in the invoice, then vendor has to pay the amount to the company. How it was?
No. See here, you already posted the invoice in the top. Okay, actual rate we already posted invoice. So about that, okay, there is a excess quantity and shortage value. Then you are doing subsequent debit and subsequent credit. Okay, that means they are asking to pay extra amount, then you are paying that amount. If you agree that, or after you are negotiating with the vendor, he is accepting to reduce the amount, so that remaining amount you are creating subsequent credit. Is it your question?
No, sir. Actually, my question is subsequent credit was there, right, sir?
Mhm.
So here, there is a prices mismatch with the PO and invoice. There, in that case, the vendor has to pay the amount to the company, or like as per the market value, the
Not
prices.
mismatch, not mismatch, as per the market price.
Okay, sir.
Okay, mismatch it will be like at the invoice level only you are blocking, right? If it is mismatch, it is blocking here only, invoice level. So it is
Okay.
not blocking invoice. It is like you are accepting to pay some extra amount, or he is accepting to pay that amount, extra amount. Okay, that amount. So that will be the subsequent debit and subsequent credit. There is a
Okay.
mismatch in the quantity and price that will be go to the
Blocking. Okay.
blocking invoice. Again, again your manager need to be verified that why it is going to block, and then they have the access to the release the invoice.
Okay.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay then. So any questions on the invoice verification? These are the different topics we have in the invoice. Okay. Any other questions in the invoice verification? Okay. If it's not there, then we'll go with inventory. So some topics in the inventory. Inventory management and controlling. So if you remember that we discussed as of now, receiving the goods, okay, and vendor returns, like we discussed about these topics, right? The stock returns that. But in case internal transfers, like the location level, okay, there will be different types of the stocks we have. Okay, so the stock types is, did we discuss about stock types as of now? Did you remember that? As
No,
we
sir.
discussed, all right. Stock types we didn't discuss. No, we didn't discuss about stock types.
No.
Okay, so
We didn't
once you
discuss.
receive a stock, okay, once you receive a stock, how you are managing your stock, okay, uh, based on your types of stock. Okay, so we have different types of the stock types. Okay, one is unrestricted use. Okay, what do you mean by unrestricted use? There is no restriction to use these products in our plant. Okay, so that means you can sell these products, you can do manufacturing, you can do like some other consumption purpose, you can consume the products, using the usage that product, you can use that product, anything you can do. So these unrestricted products are the real-time products which we are available quantity without any damage, without anything which is there. So these products are called unrestricted use stock. Okay, so we can use this product for the anything. Okay, there is no restriction. Okay, and the second one is quality inspection stock. So we can say quality stock. Okay, so what do you mean by quality stock? Let's say once I receive the stock from the vendor. Okay, let's assume that I have some doubt with the quality of this product. So what I'm doing that I'm just moving the stock to quality stock. In by so generally when we receiving the stock, it will be go to unrestricted, right? So in place of putting into unrestricted, what I'm doing, I'm just putting into the quality stock to verifying the quality. Okay, so the quality stock, what will be happen? What do you mean by quality stock? We are expecting some quality check for these materials. Okay, whatever the materials it is there in the quality stock, that we are expecting some quality check in the this location. And the next one is block stock. It's a block stock. Suppose let's say I received some stock. Okay, looks like the products are completely damaged. So even if we cannot do quality check for these products. Okay, so for time being, I need to be arranged for the return vendor, and I need to be arrange the shipment, packing, all these things, right? So for time being, what I'm doing, I'm just putting the stock into block stock. So this is stock category. Okay, so block stock. So what will happen? This block stock completely blocked. We cannot use this product for any type, any. We cannot use this product for any purpose like usage purpose or something selling purpose. Cannot use. Okay. So these are the different three types of the stock types. Okay. So we have internal transferring this between these three stock type levels. Okay, so what do you mean by internal transferring? Like if suppose in unrestricted stock we move to unrestricted, by looking into that it's good, but later what we understood that okay it's not good, then what we'll do, we'll move to quality stock. Then we'll move this unrestricted stock to quality stock. So it is there in the same location, but we are moving to the quality block. Okay, quality category. Then if suppose in the quality category it is failed, so looks like the completely stock is damaged. By looking into the quality parameters, everything it is not mismatching. So what we can do, we can move to block. Okay, block stock. In case if it is successful, okay, then what we can do, we can move from quality to unrestricted. That means after quality check, if it is everything good, you can use this product for the selling or sales purpose, so you can use for the consumption purpose. Then we can move from this quality to block, quality to unrestricted, and from again quality to block. Also what will happen in case the stock, by looking into block stock, okay, they actually issued 10 quantity. Out of 10 quantity, might be one quantity which is very good, but 9 quantities which is damaged. So I just want to use this one quantity which is good. Okay, then what we can do, either might be we can send again back to quality for quality check, or we can do what we can do, we can move to unrestricted as well from the block stock, because they already validated and their level.
Ravi sir, sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, please.
Sir, Sai Kiran is a 7 p.m. guy or is a new lead Sai Kiran Dasyam?
Sorry.
Sai, are you 7 p.m. student or
No,
fresh
she
lead?
is different, I think.
Hello, Sai, are you there? Hello? Sai, do I am audible? Sai, from where you got this link?
Today evening I got a message from
Who is your Spark?
Jeria madam, I think.
Sorry?
Jeria madam, I think. Jeria, I know
Rajia.
resume.
Fine, no problem. Ravi sir, and a small request.
Yeah.
The guy Sai Kiran and Nokia 6 Bala is done today. After the session, you can spend 5 to 10 minutes and you can explain how many classes are done.
Definitely.
So that rest time we will take care, sir. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
can you ask one thing? Nokia 6, can you give me your name? I just want to update your name.
Bala. His name is Bala.
Bala. Okay, I'm just changing this name. Okay. So Bala and Sai Kiran and Bala and Sai Kiran, one more.
Only 2 people, sir.
Okay, good. Okay, we'll discuss. Okay, once the class is completed, we'll discuss with you. Okay, then. Thanks. Thanks, Gautam. Yeah. So can I start? He's
Yeah, please proceed, sir. I'm sorry. Please proceed.
Okay then. Okay, so the unrestricted and blocked. Okay, so in case in the block stock, mistakenly if they move to block stock or might be out of 10, one product is very good by looking into that, and I just want to use that product as unrestricted again, then we can transfer to unrestricted. In case in the unrestricted the products are totally damaged, you can move to blocked. So what I mean that here, we can do internal transfer between the anything which is unrestricted to quality, quality to block, block to unrestricted, and quality to block, anything what you want, whatever you want, you can do it. Okay, so this is the internal stock movements. So now we are discussing about the inventory management part. Okay, so inventory management means what? Inventory is nothing but like a stock. So stock, how we are handling into the our internally, that we are discussing here. Okay, now there will be a scrapping is there. Okay, scrapping is nothing but like a, if see that the looks like a product is completely damaged and even renovation is not possible and it is completely expired, so we don't want to use that product, and there is no written policy for this product, it's long back we received. So those products, what we can do, we can move these stocks to scrapping. That means it's completely lost for her company. Okay, it's completely lost for our company. So those, it will be called as a scrapping. So we can also transfer the stock to scrapping. Okay, and this is the one of the scrapping is nothing but like a, it is completely damaged. It's completely spoiled. Okay, spoiled products, spoiled and expired. Okay, these products we can say here scrapping. We can move to scrapping. Okay, now generally the P2P cycle, how it will start with it. So once you created a PO, you are doing GR and you are doing invoice, right? Okay, now let's say my client requested that, okay, before receiving my stock into my location, that means before receiving to unrestricted, I need to be validate the stock. Okay, I don't want to be directly receiving the goods to our location. Before that, I need to be do some analysis from my end. Okay, so I don't to receive directly to my unrestricted stock. So those cases, what we can do, there is a two-step process for GR. Okay, that means goods receipt, we can do two-step. So what will be happening once you receive the stock, it will be go to GR block stock. Okay, so there will be a GR blocked area. Okay, there is some area which is there. Once we receive the stock, they will put into that area and they will be checking that validations and the stock, everything they are validating, and everything they are checking the stock and parameters, quality parameters, might be whatever it is required, everything they will check. If everything is good, then they will place from GR block stock to our location. Location is nothing but like unrestricted stock. Okay. So that means instead of the after receiving into unrestricted by checking that, it's very again difficult, right? So those some cases what they can do at the time of the two-step procedure, okay, they can initially move to the GR block stock, okay, and we are not agreed as of now. Even I received the stock in the GR block stock, I didn't agree that I am accepting this stock. Once I place this into location only, we are accepted the stock and we are ready to pay amount to the vendor. Okay. So until you place the stock in the GR block stock, you should not do the invoice. So before doing the invoice, you need to do this two-step procedure. Okay. So it depends on the client requirement, how they want to go ahead. Clear? So this is the concept of GR block stock. GR block stock. So I'm just explaining about the different types of how we are handling the stock in our inventory. Okay. So this is the one. This is the GR block stock. Now we have the quality. Let's assume that we have quality management people. Okay, we have separate quality management area, which is how we have the material management. Like quality management is there, quality management module it is there. So when the quality management module it is there, so what they can do, once receive the goods, okay, they will move the stock to the stock automatically move to quality inspection stock, okay, to validate quality parameters. So there will be a separate, let's say, assume that I am running the diary form. Okay, so what I'm doing that in the diary form, okay, once I receive the stock, okay, immediately I'm just transferring this goods to the milk, whatever I received from milk, I'm just transferring this to my nearest quality testing. So that means maybe they can take the sample, like 1 liter, 2 liters, they can take sample and they can validate, or they can check the entire milk, okay, and they will be checking that fat and SNF food. There were some parameters will be there, right? Based on the some parameter and smell and quality parameters, something which is there, right? So they will validate the quality parameters, then only they will accept that from the goods and they will move to unrestricted. So here you, sir, you already explained about this unrestricted quality, right? Why again you are explaining here? Okay, this is the general internal transfer we are doing manually. Okay, without QM quality management, if it is not there, QM module, if they want to be do in the stock types level without any quality parameter check, general quality check, they want to do manual level, and that those cases we can go ahead with this scenario. If they have the quality management already module which is implemented, they want to be check all the parameters, then those cases, wherever we are receiving the stock, it will directly go to the quality parameters and it will be checking all the quality parameters. Then only they will be accepted. If it is spoiled from there only self, suppose the quality team they are saying that these are not good, then we can return from the quality to directly to vendor. Instead of we will not accepting these goods to unrestricted, from the quality stock only we will be returned back to the vendor, or you can block the stock also. Okay, you can do from even scrapping also you can do it from the quality level. Okay, so this is a QM module. Okay, QM integration. If you have the quality management consultant, okay, and they are implementing the quality management, okay, those cases we will be going with this process. Whenever you are receiving the stock, it will directly go to the quality management, and the quality management will be checking that, and they will take the decision about the product, whether it is good or bad. And if it is good, then they will move to unrestricted. If it is not good, then they can move to a blocked, or they can return, or they can scrap. Anything they can do it. Okay, even those products, if suppose those products are completely damaged and even I cannot carry that product, so those products we can directly do the scrapping. So can you go on mute, please? Can you go on mute? If you have any questions, you can raise a hand. We'll discuss about that. Okay. So please go on mute. Thank you. Okay. So this type of the quality validation also we can do. So generally, and which industries quality management will be more important? Pharma, dairy, food industries, okay, perishables, okay, those products like, okay, it is a like we need to check the expiry dates and shelf life and smell those products, right? So majorly food industries and the pharma industries, chemical industries, they will be checking, they will be more priority on the quality parameters. Okay, dairy farms to the food items also. Okay, so general manufacturing spare parts, those and all, they don't need. Some cases they can go with. Okay, if suppose pipes are there, pipes, what they will do? Okay, we are buying the pipes with the particular parameters like length, weight, and shape, design, everything we are particularly looking at. So they're maintaining these all into characteristics. So like if suppose I have the uh, I'm selling the products like t-shirt, trousers, and like we are selling the dresses. Okay, like it's like garments like that. So what we are doing, we are looking into the color, size, dimensions, and with color, without color, and color. Okay, quality of the product, everything we are validating. So like the quality parameter is also it's very important, but depends on the industries. Okay, they will use. So you can ask one question here. So why we cannot go with every time with quality? Every industries, it is very important, right? Why we should not go for the other industries to quality? Okay. So one thing, guys, here what we need to understand, what, okay, when the modules increasing, okay, the maintenance cost also it will be more. So it depends on the client if they can bear about this one, they can okay with this cost and maintenance cost and okay, then they will go with the QM. Or else they don't want to go with this much of the complexity. They want to be go in the simple way. They can go in the MM level. They don't want to go with the quality management level. Okay, so it depends on the client and our company discussions and how they are going with and the price. Okay, so each and every implementation, SAP implementation cost, its minimum cost is like if you go to the small company implementation also, the lower level implementation also, minimum it is like 6 to 10 crores minimum. Okay, so it's depends on the how many modules you're implementing. Okay, some modules it is too expensive, like human resource project systems, like some modules which is too expensive. So those cases, what they will be, they are going with without SAP system, they can go with these modules, they can go with the non-SAP system. Okay, where whatever the important areas like material management, sales, finance, okay, and then production, those cases they will be going with the SAP. Okay, because these are all will be impacting on production productivity, right? Productivity and customer satisfaction, these are all, it will be interconnectivity, and it's all impacting on the profits analysis and deliveries, all these things. So they will be going with the SAP. Okay, so it depends on the client and the company they are discussing about that. Okay, so any questions on this one? So if they have the quality management, they should be do quality parameters. You cannot use in this case. You cannot use this. You cannot use this quality stock. Okay, unrestricted quality, quality to unrestricted. Okay, cannot go with a quality unrestricted. This is what we discussed about now. Okay, if the quality management view is there, we cannot go with the manual transfer from unrestricted quality. It should be happen from the quality module only. Okay, so that point, just remember that. Okay, and the next one is, suppose I'm just want to see that stock. So there is stock, how you are handling that, how controlling that. Okay, so we have the concept like physical inventory. Okay, what we are doing in the physical inventory, suppose let's assume that I'm running gold shop. Okay, I'm running gold shop. Now every day at morning, what I'm doing, I'm just counting my stock and I'm just distributing that to stock to my entire showroom, and we're decorating that and we are selling the goods to customers. Now by end of the day, every day what I'm doing, again I'm just counting that stock and I'm just checking my sales And if there is any difference it is there, then immediately I'm just taking the action about where exactly it is missing. Okay, so the physical inventory is nothing but like a counting the physical stock in the warehouse, comparing this stock to system stock. Okay, so how frequently you want to do this process depends on the product cost and depends on the importance of the product. So they will go, might be they will go daily, like gold or something silver, they can go daily, or it may be screws or something like they can go every 6 months, every 1 year. They want to be checked that okay, whether it is be whatever the existing stock and whatever the physical stock, it is the same or not. That means in the system stock and physical stock, it is the same or not. If there is any difference, it is there, then might be there is some fraud it is happening, one thing, or maybe some entries which is not entered in the system, or it may be some products which is going out without any entry in the system. So we also need to be validate this all, that will be calling as physical inventory. The physical inventory, what we are doing, we are counting the physical stock and verifying with the system stock. That is the concept of the physical inventory. Okay, this happens might be because every day, or it may be 3 months, or it may be every 6 months, or every 12 months. Depends on the client, the product, how they want to go ahead. Okay, and this generally we calling as a cycle count. So cycle count is nothing but like a how frequently you want to do this physical inventory. Okay, that means every 3 months, every 6 months, every 9 months, every 12 months you want to do that. Will be creating the cycle count. So is it mandatory to do a cycle count? No, we also can do manually also. Suppose let's say suddenly I want to do some physical inventory in my location. So immediately I can create that physical inventory count and just validating each and everything with the system stock. Okay, so it's not necessarily like we should go with the cycle count. Depends on the client requirement. I can go with the cycle count. Okay, or I can go with the normally manual physical inventory count. Okay, okay. If I go to cycle count, so how system will understand that whether it is a 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months, or how system will understood. Okay, we are dividing that this categories, class one, class two, class three, like that. We are dividing that. So what they are doing, class one, it is too high expensive. Then we are doing regularly or weekly or it is monthly. If it is a class B, then it again we are doing 3 months, every 3 months. Or class C, these are the products very less usage and even it is very less cost. We want to do it yearly once. So so that also we can do. That we call a ABC indicator. We are maintaining the indicator for each product. A indicator, B indicator, C indicator, and we are defining that is it we are doing A indicator products all. We are doing every day or maybe every 6 months, every 1 week, depends on that. So that is the concept of the physical inventory. Okay, it is a part of the inventory. Clear? Okay, and the next one is consumption. So what do you mean by consumption? Anyone knows? Consuming the product. What do you mean by consuming? That means usage. Usage of the product. Okay, it maybe you can say direct usage and direct consumption. Consumption is nothing but like a direct usage. Okay, so let's say I have the stock, 10 I have 1,000 stock I have. So now there is no customer order I don't have any production order I don't have, maintenance order I don't have, but someone they requested that I need this product, I want to use this product, I want to consume that product. Okay, so direct consumption is nothing but like a consumption is nothing but like a, if suppose some departments, okay, they're requesting that boss I need this stock for consumption purpose. Like if suppose HR department is there, HR department they're asking that I need some notebooks, okay, or I need some pens, or I need some laptops. Okay, so we are using this products into the my department purpose. Okay, so that we call as a direct consumption. So what we are doing once we get the stock, okay, if we have any requirement from the customer, centers. That means different departments like HR department, administrative department, marketing department, sales department. So we have the requirement, and we will be issuing the stock to their direct departments. Okay. So here we are not issuing to the customers. We are not issuing to production department like that. We are doing direct consumption to our internal departments. So that we call as a cost center issue. Okay. So goods issue to cost center, generally called as a goods issue to cost center. So cost center is nothing but like departments. In our internal department, whatever HR department, administrative department, right? Those we call as a cost centers. So like we can use for the any other purpose also. It's not only for the internal department purpose. It can also you can use for the some network and some projects. Okay, we are doing some project internally. They want some products. This one. Okay, that projects also you can use. And if you want to be used for production orders, consumption. Okay, so like we can define that when they need some raw material from our side, we can issue the stock to their department. Okay, so this is also concept of the how the stock is consuming in our location. Clear? So these are the normal cases in the inventory management. So these are the general topics in the inventory management. Okay, any questions on the inventory management? Any questions in inventory management? Okay, then if you don't have any questions, then we can close the call today. Okay, and just to refer the document. Okay, and refer the video. Okay, if you have any doubts on this one, okay, let me know. So these are all just general overview we are discussing. Once we are entering into the SAP system, we will do this all the process one by one. Okay. Okay, then I'm stopping the recording section.